than straight up team fight focused, but LGD are so good at playing these 5v5 front to back team fights.
Yeah, and I mean, you mention it, when you look at this composition from OMG, it's a lot more about these kind of skirmishes. It's a lot more about disengaging from fights and FLICKR running amok elsewhere, Icon trying to find picks where he can.
Yep, you have the LeBlanc and Tom Kench. Also Varus, all three champions great for pick potential.
You can see the fans getting ready for this series, getting ready for game number 2 here. And I'm getting ready for game number 2 because LGD right now, they're 1-0 up against OMG.
You know, I'm really excited if we can ever see more of the famous Gyos. Like we got, I think it was when RNG was playing, right? We got MLXG and we got Let Me. So it'd be really cool if, you know, for LGD we got people like PYL or, you know, something weird like randomly Imp.
Yeah, some like veteran players coming back on in, cheering on their old rosters. But we'll see if we can get any kind of shenanigans like that on the go. But I want to remind the viewers at home before this one kicks off just what this game, what this series means for each of these teams. In case you're not up to date on where the standings are at, LGD currently in 14th place on the standings. It's not looking good in terms of that, but technically can still make a miracle run for playoffs if they don't lose another series. OMG, on the other hand, they're in 8th right now, but they need every win that they can get if they want to maintain that position, because it's a very close pack in the middle of the table, and LGD on the cusp of upsetting.
Yep, and we can see from the runes that SMLZ is going towards the lethality Varus build. I actually do like it here, which might surprise a lot of people when you're facing something like a Maokai and Nautilus. You also have the Senna Sustain in there to keep those guys healthy. But if you're OMG's comp, you're already all in on the early and mid game. Your comp needs to get ahead early. You need to snowball in the mid game. So you're already going to lose late regardless. So let's all in on that 10-15 minute power spike.
Yeah, and also on the burst damage, right? You can follow up. If Icon finds a pick but doesn't quite finish it off, you can follow up as a lethality.
Even, you know, the opposite, right? You hit a great arrow as SMLZ, you have so many tools as Icon to be able to get onto that backline and finish it off.
We'll see if they're going to be able to get those mid-game skirmishes off, and a lot of that, as you said before, is going to be down to whether or not Peanut can quell that aggression in the early game. And as we look at the junglers, you can see on opposite sides of the map right now, each of them doing their red buff. FLICKR has gone straight from buff, clears that part of the jungle, then straight up towards the top side there.
Yep, and they do have a ward on Peanut's blue, so with them having pushed in the top lane, maybe we can see him hover mid, try and help LeBlanc get pressure, and then look for an invade. Another thing that's always possible is Curse just does get the bounce back, and then FLICKR makes the return gank at 4 minutes, but looks like he does want to go for that invade.
Yeah, he's not going to help mid first. He's just going to go straight on in. And bear in mind, this is an Olaf at low level. Olaf can duel a lot of other junglers. It's very difficult to take him on, especially when he's low HP. Peanut's here, though.
Peanut does have the execute on his Q.
And he's going to tank the Q for himself. FLICKR in a 1v1 right now, turns it around. Will have the vicious swings. The vicious strikes, sorry. The reckless swings as well available there. Icon moving in. Peanut is going to be feeling the pressure because Curse is on the way as well. Peanut knows he's in trouble now. Icon going to look for the chains. Ooh. Forces the flash. And this will be the blue buff secured.
Yeah, and great to see this play out of OMG. We talked about how they have pressure at top. Could have hovered for mid if they wanted to make it a bit easier with Icon coming sooner. But still, Icon able to follow up easily once he pushed out that lane. And Peanut not having flash is massive, as well as just getting that blue buff for OMG.
We'll be able to get the bottom side scuttle, but I love the efficiency coming out from FLICKR. Ooh, look at the bottom lane. Sons are cold, though. On this Tom Kench, she's going to be fine. But I love that while Icon was forcing Peanut out there, FLICKR just went and did the Rift Herald, the Rift Scuttler, sorry. The 4-minute Rift Herald.
Your perception of this game is really weird.
But he went and got the scuttle while that was all going on. So really efficient play from Owen.
Efficient, and of course just healing back up to full HP so we can then walk into that jungle against Peanut. But we did expect for OMG's comp to be ahead in the early game, so great job for them to abuse the windows that they have.
Dragon going to be spawning in 30 seconds. Another hook goes down onto Cold there. Actually pulled them both in because Cold had just devoured SMLZ. Cold's starting to get pretty low, which with the Cloud Drake about to spawn could be bad news for OMG. It looks like Peanut has to reset.
Yeah, both junglers still going to come on the map at about the same time. One of the great things about Peanut is he is one of the junglers that will typically hover not necessarily show on bot lane, but hover that bot lane bush, kind of stay around, help his bot lane get the reset so then they can come back around and fight for this dragon, but not needing it this time. Does look like Peanut just going to head up towards the top side.
Lion's going to be there, trying to just force this wave in, maybe try and find the reset for himself. But Curse obviously can threaten him with this on the percent damage, meaning he does well into other tanks.
Especially with Senna getting on the map first. Of course, Maokai pushing in the top lane. I do want to see Peanut just head straight towards the dragon. They are going to know that OMG's bot lane reset, so LGD should have an easy time just starting up this Drake for themselves.
See if they're going to just pull the trigger on that one. You can see Peanut hovering around the bottom side of the map. He's going to finish his chickens, and we'll see if he does just start that Drake up.
Of course, SMLZ had TP, so was able to pick up the serrated Dirk and just TP back in the lane.
Ooh, that's aggressive. Yeah, Curse wants to find a fight, gets the triple brittle. Lies, still going to have a decent amount of HP, and that's the issue with trying to kill a Maokai. He's basically invincible.
Like, you just wasted your flash and your ultimate, which, if you're an Ornn, you're so reliant on your ultimate in these team fights. Not quite sure it was worth, but still, you are going to be able to try and deny Lies even more CS, but you're playing a Maokai. You don't care about your CS.
And the thing is as well, oh, Kramer actually wants an opportunity onto SMLZ. Nice sidestep there. Pings on towards the dragon. Peanut didn't start it, by the way. While all of that was going on topside, Hackers managed to move over. And I think he's just going to be able to get this one. Yuki wants to contest, but Icon will force him away here. Nice bit of damage onto the enemy mid laner. But LGD, they've responded in force. They make sure that Hacker can't just take this dragon. It resets. We'll have to see what happens next here, because SMLZ getting pressured a little from Peanut.
And we need to remember with this Drake start that if Curse does follow, he doesn't have Call of the Forge God, but Lies still has absolutely everything.
Yeah, really important to mention. And it looks like both teams, because of the answer, because of the response from either squad, they have to respect it. They have to say, look, are we confident enough to just take the fight here? Seems like OMG maybe. No, they're not even going to go for that. And it's interesting because they, I would argue, have a much stronger composition at this point in the game.
They do, and they should want to look to force this now, but it does seem like they're hesitant, maybe because of the fight that Curse went for in the top lane, but still, they should feel comfortable starting up this objective, realizing, as we already set up, they need to get ahead early. For Drakes, for them, it doesn't matter about letting LGD get 1 or 2 and then stacking up 4 of the same one, right? You need to be able to just get the first 4 Drakes and get to that soul if you want to win this game.
They've got to win early. They've got to win as soon as possible with this lethality Varus, with the LeBlanc in the mid-game, but most importantly, against Senna, against Azir, against this Maokai that will become an absolute brick wall later on.
Yep, but we have seen before, I think it was actually OMG who played this style comp where they did it so perfectly at sending Icon to that side lane.
I hate Tahm Kench, man. It doesn't matter what you do, Kahlua. You're not going to be able to catch SMLZ out. He's always got that insurance policy.
You know what destroys Tahm Kench? Brand.
Really?
Where is our brand? Bard also does well in the Tahm Kench. Bard brand. Zyra does fine.
Blitzcrank does pretty good.
Blitzcrank.
Because you just pull him under tower.
Yep. You don't care about pulling the AD. You just pull the Tahm Kench.
Yep.
You break his shield and
you kill it.
Yeah. But going back to what I was saying before, we actually saw OMG use a comp like this very well, where they controlled side lane so beautifully with Icon that they were always able to get the vision setup needed around the dragon, and then we just saw SMLZ continuously whittle people down with this lethality Varus before the enemy even had a chance to get on the objective.
That was kind of what we saw from Yuki as well on the Corki last game, was the rockets coming out before the fight ever begun, just chunking everyone out, and it felt like OMG couldn't ever really fight properly. But LGD, the ones to move up towards the top side here, you can see their bot lane has rotated first as well. It means that Hacker and Icon, they're going to have to respect the fact that they cannot contest this Herald. Peanut grabs that. Now they want to go for the fight, though. Root comes through. Ragnarok forced. Dawning Shadow is available if they want to try and get the snipe onto Hacker. Icon's arrived. Snipe, but the flash comes through. There's a kick onto the back line, and it's killed for Peanut. There's a second one for the side of LGD, and they're winning out this fight. Curse goes down. Yuki, unneeded ultimate, but you know what? We take the fight. That's going to be another kick coming through. Oh, Peanut just gets it. Trades for his life. But I'm pretty sure you're happy with that. 4 for 1. Now they go for SMLZ. Oh, Kramer wanted that bad, but he can't dive.
And let's just set this up. You know, in an honest way, that OMG were behind on the rotation. Doesn't feel like LGD's comp should be able to just freely start the Rift Herald like this, but they were so far behind. Cold not even able to really follow with the Abyssal Voyage in time. And then when it came to the team fight we just saw, all of LGD were stacked in the same brush, but OMG had no vision in that brush, and they just kind of walked in one by one. We saw all the AoE coming out from the Azir, from the Senna, and here we're just going to see it again. Oh, they do actually have a word to start this off, but FLICKR getting down solo at first. They do take that vision, and then we see them all in this choke point. Senna able to ult onto everyone. Yuki dealing all this damage from behind the wall. They don't have any vision on him, actually. And then, again, you're just picking each member of OMG off one by one. So,
and I think a lot of that comes from FLICKR just going way too deep by himself to start things off. The root comes through from Kramer, forces his ultimate. Ooh, Icon just about gets away with his life there. Emperor's Divide wasn't available, but still going to force him away. Now on towards this mid lane tower. They might just be able to finish this one off because there's not much of an answer available right now. Cold and SMLZ are rotating up though. Will they get here in time? I think they will just about. Hacker's here too. Icon rooted, but jumps away with the distortion. Had to use his Mimic to clear the wave.
Still, LGD are very happy with this. They might only be about 1k up, but their comp does scale much better. And I always love when we get just to see the constant trading of the tanks.
This feels old school. The tank versus tank top lane, the wet noodle fight, as it were.
You know what I miss?
I think Maokai is the king of the wet noodle fight, just because the more abilities you use, the more he heals and the more he survives the fight.
Okay, he's the king in that sense. Fino is the king in terms of visual pleasure. It was either when we went back to... No, actually it was Tank Echo. 2016 Spring Split. I miss Tank Echo. That was so fun.
I don't miss Tank Echo at all.
What about Season 5?
It's like Tank Fizz top.
Yeah, no, I was going to say
that?
Season 5 where we had the... Ooh.
Oh, hang on. Killua. I think Killua might actually go down here. Ragnarok used just to try and deal with the root from Kramer. Killua is still surviving. Gets that tower. Icon goes for the dive here. Takes a lot of damage himself. 3 members used for OMG, but they do get the kill.
Yeah, still they don't lose anything because SMLZ is sitting in the mid lane just picking up all that farm. So overall net gain for the side of OMG. They do get a pick. And Senna going to back off, but she will still be able to walk up and catch this farm in EXP if she wants to.
Well, they reset. Dragon going to be in 10 seconds, and OMG are going to be the ones that have priority on that objective, for now at least. They're the ones in position and with vision control towards the bottom side of the map. Peanut's going to be there, though, just over the side of the wall. And the thing is about playing against Lee Sin, he can always try and contest. He can always try and steal away something like a dragon. Yep,
important thing to watch is for Curse to roam down for this. And they have so many tools to engage this fight between Call of the Forge God and the Chains of Corruption coming out for SMLZ. Of course, LGD need to back off.
And OMG is just like, oh, thank you very much for starting the dragon for us. Gets it low. Sonic Wave's there. Goes in too late for the steal, though. SMLZ actually grabbed that one. Now Call of the Forge God knocks up Peanut. Doesn't have a safeguard, but it'll be back up in a second. Curse tanking up the squad. Nature's Grasp comes through. He's going to root up just one, but it's the tank. And Cold's there to save him as well. Now the fight really kicks off. Hacker, the one to go down. Kick onto the backline. That was beautiful from Peanut. 2 now go the way of Kramer. They don't even need to chase some more. It's time for some towers. Oh, Peanut's low.
Icon's still going. Whew.
Icon's doing his best. And a nice arrow from SMLZ as well over the wall. Now into the mid lane, though.
But like I said before the match, 5-0. Kramer's score on Senna looks so good at this pick, supports his team so well in these team fights, and we saw once OMG's burst was all gone, all the Varus poke laid out, Icon had already all-in. Well, they have no damage left, and the war of attrition is, of course, won by LGD.
And also, when you fight in that little pathway in the jungle, Senna has so much value. Out of a roll, out of a Q, it just hits everyone.
So, of course, OMG are the ones who engage. Cold even goes in so deep, but Icon actually goes back to his original distortion, doesn't feel comfortable jumping in on that. All the burst is now down, and now we get through a choke, like you said. Senna does so well here. Azir as well, being able to just hit his soldiers off freely. Good ult coming in from Kramer on the end of it, and 3k gold up for a scaling comp does kind of feel more like 5k gold up.
Look at the tower plates. Not a single one for OMG. And as you rightly say, LGD, they're the scaling comp. They're the ones that should be falling behind in the early game, looking towards the late game, looking to just neutralize. Right now, they're finding advantages. They're 3,000 gold up. And bear in mind what this game means for OMG. This game for OMG is so important in maintaining their position in the standings.
Really interesting. I actually like this, that they put Killua in a side lane top, because a win condition for OMG would be to play around side lanes with Hacker and Icon, trying to kind of free up and find picks, but you're not going to find a pick onto a Maokai or a Nautilus.
Yeah. Speaking of finding picks, Lies is like, look, all you have is a lost chapter. What are you going to do to me, man? I'm Maokai. I've already got an Abyssal Mask. You can't hurt me. Hacker's going to come in, though. 2v1. Lies is still quite happy to take this one. I just told you, he's a Maokai. You can't kill him. Hacker will be able to chop him down eventually. Axes greater than trees. That is the rule of nature.
I do want to say, though, this is not LGD's win condition. When you put the two tanks in the side lane, it's the fact that they can absorb pressure so easily, and it would be hard for Hacker to, you know, come gank or dive you if you're just sitting under your turret picking up that farm, but Lies wanting to prove he's worthy of this starting spot on LGD.
I mean, he nearly killed Icon in the 1v1
hey,
there.
nearly doesn't mean anything.
Nearly's not good enough. You're absolutely right, Kramer. Nearly gets caught out. We'll get the root. SMLZ trying to follow up. Change the corruptions on cooldown. It's Peanut. He's got... Oh, what a kick coming on through. SMLZ's in trouble right here. 200 HP. Colt's the first one to drop. Peanut finds the Sonic Wave. LGD, they're looking magnificent. Killua now gets onto Curse as well. Flash Force. Peanut, he's not done just yet. He knows Icon's not there. Can't quite find the Sonic Wave. This is the team fighting from LGD is so nice.
It's so great to see. We talked about their shot calling and how their dynamic changed with Killua coming into this lineup. It really feels like they're setting up these plays so smooth, and really the only mistake coming in this game was from Lies on the side lane, but you know, it does happen. You are still almost 5K gold ahead. We've just seen some great calls and great, I don't even want to say rotations. It's just done a great job at winning out these skirmishes and then turning that pressure into vision and objectives.
And it feels like responding to what OMG do as well. Hacker moves down to the bottom side of the map, so like, okay, we'll take a Rift Herald if we find him. I mean, honestly, they were just reacting to OMG's fight in the mid lane as well.
I was going to say, actually, OMG are the ones who start this with Ornn roaming over first. Of course, Hacker's in the bot lane, so you give the chance for all of LGD's members to roam over, and great mechanical play coming out from Peanut. Peanut just having such a good split in LPL this year, and Yuki and Kramer easily able to just follow up with the damage, with Peanut just pretty much frontlining everything.
And this is starting to become a bit of a nightmare scenario for OMG, because as you rightly said earlier, this LeBlanc, this Lethality Varus, they're not going to do so hot in the late stages of the game. However, we're not at that point just yet. They've still got time to work with, and they've got the 2-dragon advantage. That's their big win condition right now.
I feel like the problem for OMG at this point, though, is if LGD just group up as 5 mid, like they're about to do, push out this wave and then walk into River, there's really nothing OMG can do. OMG need to wait for them to make a misstep, someone walk off by themselves, and then try to pick them off with the LeBlanc.
Yuki takes a massive chunk there from Icon. Bear in mind, Icon, he's on his LeBlanc. We know Icon for this LeBlanc pick, and he can always make some magic happen. LGD, the first one's onto the Drake. As you said, push out mid, rotate down. Bit of damage onto Killua. But Hacker, he wants to try and find a way in. Already used his Ragnarok. Lies happy to flash back into his team. And it's too late. Peanut gets the Dragon. Call of the Forge God goes through. Icon trying to do damage, but there just isn't enough damage here. LGD still surviving. They have so much sustain from this center. Icon again jumping in, again trying to find an opportunity, but again denied.
Yeah, LGD come out ahead with the objective, just following their win conditions that we set up, but the surprising thing was the amount of damage that SMLZ and Icon were still able to lay out in that fight, but ultimately really means nothing.
They are going to lose out the Drake, and if it wasn't frustrating already, the kind of late game advantages that LGD are going to have, OMG are only going to get more frustrated if multiple Drakes go to LGD, because it's Mountain Drakes as well. It makes it even harder for Lethality Varus, for this LeBlanc to have a significant impact later on.
Well, and it just feels like the options that OMG has are so little, so limited, that the only plays I can really see you making are playing around the side lane with, again, let's say Curse and Icon heading to the same lane, opening up the Call of the Forge God, hoping you have enough damage with Icon's LeBlanc to lock it down. Also, of course, SMLZ does have TP, so you could bring him there as well. You have the Abyssal Voyage for Tom Kench, so it's about using these globals to create a pick, but you always open an advantage that the only opportunity you should have is on the bot side of the map because that's where the lone member of LGD will be. While you're facing an Azir and a Senna, they'll be able to burst down this Baron so quickly.
Yeah, and also the lone member that you're going to find is probably Lies.
Yep.
And he's going to take a while to take down. We already saw when Hacker and Icon 2v1'd him, he survived for so long.
So it's pretty much send SMLZ down with Curse, try and get that pick onto Maokai. I'm not sure if you can even get that pick. You both do have teleports ready that if LGD start the Baron, if you get the pick, you can force then a numbers advantage fight, but how much will it need to take down Lies? I feel like it could take both ultimates, maybe even some summoner spells, so.
We'll have to see if they can cut the tree down. Hacker has been found towards the top side. He's got Icon with him, but Kramer and Yuki means this is a 3v2 in favor of LGD. Bear in mind, they're 4,000 gold ahead right now, so whether or not you want to take an unfavorable fight for OMG, I'd say probably not. Peanut will search for the Sonic Wave. All he's doing is opening this top side for Yuki.
Yep, so the good thing that LGD did just do is just have Maokai hover up, move the rest of your members from mid lane towards top, and of course OMG have to back off, and they do get some more gold and continue that snowball.
I think one of the most important things to look at in the scoreboard right now is the kill participation for LGD, especially from Peanut, Yuki, and Kramer. They have been part of almost every single kill. I mean, Peanut and Kramer, every single kill. 007, the James Bond coming out from Yuki, as he's going to be part of pretty much every single one of these plays, stacking up those assists, stacking up farm in the side lanes. He's going to very quickly get to 2 or 3 items, and that is when Azir's really going to start to destroy in this game.
And this is his most played champion this split, his most played champion in his career. Yuki just looks very good on this champion. And the 3 members that you highlighted are the 3 actually kind of unexpected for Yuki, but of course when we think of LGD, this is what it's been all Peanut. Throughout their recent history, it's been all about Kramer, so really good that we see their 3 carries stepping up and putting LGD in the position we want. Lies just doing his job, absorbing the pressure, doing good around these team fights. And again, Killua seems like it's a lot more about the shot calling he brings around the map.
Yeah, 85 souls already for Kramer, by the way, so he's very quickly becoming a serious threat, as he's also finished the 2 main lethality items that you'll see on Ascena, the Umbral Glaive and the Edge of Night. Just means he's safer in these fights, but also means that the setup for these objectives is that much easier.
I also just love that Yuki, feeling so far ahead on this Azir, just does go for the 2nd item death cap. So, of course, all the items from now on, any even component he picks up, just going to continuously help him spike more and more.
Yeah, obviously, in case you're a newer player, the death cap does offer you percentage AP. Every extra bit of AP you get is like amplified by the death cap. It's kind of a late game item, but he's on a late game carry, and it's just going to continuously improve. We mentioned it before. Lies is the one you'll find in a side lane. He's going to get caught out immediately. Baron started. Let's see how long Lies can actually just survive for himself here. Nature's Grasp used Sap Magic, keeping himself healthy. Just knocking up, delaying, keeping them at bay while Azir burns through the Baron. Now they get straight onto Hacker. They are going to respect this, though.
Hey, but we saw OMG execute one of the only options their composition had. They got the pick. They buy some more time, but still not able to convert that into anything meaningful. But with this objective coming up, they do have a chance to secure this dragon. But Icon going towards the top lane seems like a big mistake when Lies actually has TP.
Icon has TP as well, though, and he's going to join this fray. Now onto the dragon. Peanut going to be chunked out, but sustains there from Kramer. We'll see if Peanut can get the steal. OMG, they need this dragon. This is so important for their squad.
Whoa!
Oh, Peanut stole it. Dawning Shadow over everybody. Big knockups from Curse across the enemy team, but now LGD, they want to get this fight. Kramer goes in. It's absolutely massive. Cold Force to Flash. And LGD, they get the dragon. They get the fight.
Let's even ignore the soul. The fact that you have 2 Mountain Drakes on 2 members who are going to stack so much resistances against a lethality Varus, a LeBlanc, and an Olaf, how are you going to kill this Maokai and this Nautilus? You're just not.
This game is looking more and more like a fever dream for OMG. We thought that their playoff chances were just pretty much set in stone. It looked like this was a team that was on the up and up, that was feeling like they were winning every single game they come up against. And now, suddenly, this doesn't feel so good for them. This feels like if they're going to lose to LGD, what else can go wrong for them? Baron getting incredibly low. Icon gets onto Yuki. Can't quite finish the kill. Yuki still surviving. The healing from the center. Yuki lives through it. Cold can't escape now. The thick skin won't save you. Neither will that stopwatch. He drops to Lies. A Baron for LGD and a couple of bonus kills.
Icon hit absolutely everything and still couldn't take Yuki down. Even without the Senna healing, looks like he still would have been able to walk it alive if he wanted to. And like you just pointed out with LGD, they have the chance to make this dream run. They just 2-0'd RNG, just 2-1 WE, and off of plays like that from Peanut, so beautiful. They bought enough time for where Lies gets back on the map, TP's in, and Kramer just playing so well at the center. You talked about over 80 souls already. He's doing so much damage, has so much range. And just LGD looked like a completely new team recently.
It's the confidence of that play from Kramer. When you look at LGD at the start of this split, that's not what we saw out of Kramer. He didn't feel confident at all from him, from the entire squad. Peanut basically was the only player that felt remotely confident. Now, we've seen a completely evolved squad. We see a totally different version of this team. And Peanut especially, I mean, you mentioned it in that fight. His Lee Sin always looks magnificent. It's just another clip for the highlight reels.
And the great thing about this is we were talking about this yesterday of how many great kind of LPL teams there are at kind of messy, chaotic skirmishes. Top Esports, IG, Suning plays that style. A lot of teams do that, but we don't have many organized 5v5, very systematic front-to-back team fighters right now. And LGD look like one of our best, maybe our best, if they can keep playing like this.
Which is kind of crazy to think. Like, they're 14th in the standings. This hasn't been the same squad. Well, actually, in terms of players, it's been the same squad we've seen for most of the split. But in terms of performance, it feels night and day. Hacker forced away as the siege continues here. Mid lane inhibitor looking to fall. And in the meantime, now they can go for a flank onto this bottom lane inhibitor if they want to. Lies and Peanut going to force out the mid lane and move on down. The Baron wave is on its way. We'll see what LGD can do with it.
And if you're LGD, you just keep this up, having Killua hover with these two carries so no one on OMG feels comfortable jumping in, having Lies and Peanut on the side threatening the flank.
Nature's Grasp just forces everyone away from OMG. 2 inhibitors drop. LGD looking unbelievable, honestly. If you'd asked me who was going to be the team that would come back later on in the split, with the way LGD played earlier on, this is not the squad I would have said.
We were talking about for the past week and a half, Vici is the team to watch on the later resurgence. We also mentioned Rogue Warriors in that conversation as well. LGD were not on our radar. Even with wins like WE, we were like, well, WE is kind of messy. They are still trying to organize a new system with Teacherma on the mid lane. But the win over RNG, once again, there's kind of an asterisk next to that one, but there's no asterisk next to this. OMG are a legit team. They've looked like the best in the middle of the pack, and LGD are decisively taking them down.
This is a sign of things to come here for LGD. Bear in mind, their schedule is still rough. They've got their work cut out for them, but it feels like they're willing to take this challenge on. Yuki using the Emperor's Divide to try and stop Icon getting in onto him. Icon will walk away with his life.
And Kramer buying the rapid-fire cannon just for what seems like the increased range even more.
Yeah, I love it. I love to see it. It's what we saw out of Senna's when the champion first came out as well, getting that extra range and a little bit of extra crit as well. Now moving up towards the top side. I want to see how many souls Kramer has. They've not clicked on him in a little while, but just looking to finish this one off now onto towards the third inhibitor, and OMG, they just can't start the fight. It feels like there's very little OMG can do, but watch their base be destroyed before their very eyes. It's going to be one last ditch defense on the Nexus by the looks of things.
I want to correct you. There's not very little they can do. There's actually nothing they can do at this point.
It's a rough situation. You have to be honest about it.
They need to look juicy, make like hope Kramer flashes into them first, pick off Kramer, and then hope Yuki also goes for a Shurima shuffle, and then they could like try to interrupt that with some kind of like Ornn or Tahm Kench, Chains of Corruption maybe, and then pick them off one by one and mind control them into losing the game.
I don't know about the mind control strategy. That one might be difficult to achieve here. Kramer's pretty low. Bear in mind it's Lethality Varus. He can be picked off. SMLZ will be trying to achieve exactly that. Now, onto the Nexus Towers. Last-ditch effort. Curse gets the knock-up. Icon goes into the back line. Can't finish off anyone, though. And I think that might just be game. First kill goes down. Killua happy to tank everyone up. Curse desperate to get back onto the fountain. Second tower fall. Yuki's low. Killua's low, but not low enough. Peanut disrupting everyone. Yuki's on the Nexus. So's Kramer. They finished this one off 2-0 LGD.